D.C. high school students take center stage at the Kennedy Center, shining bright as they compete for the top prize at the 2019 D.C. Capital Stars Talent Competition.
Plus, D.C. Health is making strides in fighting disease through education and low-cost treatment. We'll show you how a new wellness center is helping make a difference.
Those stories coming up. The news rundown is straight ahead. We Are Washington starts now.
Welcome to We Are Washington. DC's most talented young performers took the stage at the Kennedy Center to battle it out for college scholarships. The DC Capital Stars competition has been showcasing high school talent since 1999, helping to double the number of district students who enroll in college. But it's the chance to see these future stars perform that steals the show. We'll bring you the highlights coming up.
And it could be just what the doctor ordered. A new health and wellness center in Northeast combines education with low-cost treatment and offers hope in the battle against sexually transmitted diseases. All of that coming up, but first, here's the news rundown. The 2019 D.C. Emancipation Day celebration brought thousands of residents to Freedom Plaza for a free concert with local favorites and headliners, keeping crowds dancing all day long. The festivities kicked off with the traditional Full Democracy Champions Breakfast at the Willard Hotel. Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke about D.C.'s progress in advancing civil rights and highlighted how the fight for D.C.'s statehood transcends partisanship as an American issue.
Our self-discipline, our vision, and our values are making our city a city we can be proud of. And that is why we demand statehood. We don't beg for it. We're not a beggar state. We're a donor state. We collect more taxes than we get from the federal government. We balance our budgets unlike the federal government. We live our values and we fight for them and we protect them. And that is what true emancipation is all about.
Residents of all ages, including the mayor's baby daughter, came out to enjoy the day-long concert, which featured performances from Faith Evans, Dougie Fresh, Kenny Lattimore, and Maya, just to name a few. Mayor Bowser also led an Emancipation Day parade along Pennsylvania Avenue that showcased the winners of the mayor's first ever student float competition. The celebration lasted well into the night and ended with a fireworks display at Freedom Plaza.
A new proposal seeks to bring relief to district seniors facing high property taxes. Mayor Bowser announced that her 2020 budget includes $5.2 million to expand the refundable Schedule H tax credit for D.C. homeowners and renters, which would be renamed the Keep Housing Affordable Tax Credit. The credit assists residents who face high property taxes and rents compared with their incomes, which is of special concern to many seniors with fixed incomes.
The mayor is, as I think many of you know, nationally recognized for what she is doing in terms of housing investments, housing policies, housing programs. And I think as part of this, the commitment to our seniors and our most vulnerable residents who are have property tax and rental bills that they need to pay and to get the credit for it in their taxes is absolutely essential.
The proposal would expand the eligibility of the credit to 3,000 new people. To learn more, visit mayor.dc.gov/2020 budget.
The D.C. Department of Public Works put their skills to the test at the 21st Annual Equipment Rodeo Competition. The Heavy Equipment Rodeo gives drivers a chance to participate in an obstacle course challenge to test their skills under unusual circumstances. This year's event also featured a celebrity competition that included council members Mary Shea and Charles Allen.
They're operating heavy machinery. They're out there moving stuff for the city and doing the work for the residents of the city. And it's kind of a singular event when they're out there doing that. This is the opportunity for them to get together as a group and show each other what they can do, rib on each other a little bit, and have a pretty good time.
The National Coalition of 100 Black Women held its annual Legislative Days luncheon at Arena Stage in Southwest. The organization is dedicated to making a difference in the lives of Black women and girls, especially in the areas of health, education, and economic empowerment. Mayor Bowser was among those who spoke at the luncheon.
This year, we're going to do a couple of more things to advance our work around infant and maternal mortality. I've created a cabinet-level position that is going to focus on women and children. We call it Thrive by 5, that will lead this work in making sure that all across the government, the things that we're doing are leading to healthier women and children.
The D.C. Office of the City Administrator held a multi-agency review of the city's 311 call center. The 311 CAPSTAT is a data-driven performance management tool used by the district to ensure that agencies are meeting or exceeding their goals. The latest CAPSTAT provided data that shows the 311 citywide call center has dramatically improved its response time since 2016. 311 is the toll-free number that allows people in the district to request assistance with city services and information. The Office of Unified Communications oversees the 311 call center and all emergency 911 calls. It was a picture-perfect day for a celebration of the Anacostia River at the 11th Street Bridge Park.
From canoe rides to lawn games, there was plenty for families to enjoy at the 5th Annual Anacostia River Festival. The 2019 festival marks the 100th birthday of Anacostia Park and serves as the official closing event of the National Cherry Blossom Festival.
It's all things jazz in June as DC Jazz Fest prepares to launch its 15th season this summer. With 150 performances in 40 venues all over the district, DC Jazz Fest has grown into a world-renowned event dedicated to advancing jazz and music education while giving jazz buffs plenty of free entertainment to enjoy.
I will say I personally enjoy lots of the activities, but I know what it means to visitors, but also for residents in our great city. I don't need to tell anybody in this room what the history is for jazz in our nation's capital, but we've seen it time and time again how we're now positioned across the globe.
This year's festival features Joshua Redman, Michael Franks, Terry Lynn Carrington, and hometown favorite Snarky Puppy, just to name a few. Actor Michael Ealy returned home to D.C. and hit the red carpet for a preview of his new film, The Intruder. Ealy stars alongside Megan Good and Dennis Quaid in a psychological thriller about a couple who buys their dream home only to find the previous owner won't let it go. The local favorite said he's always happy for the chance to come home.
You need to take advantage of that. This city made me. This is where my roots are. I still got family here. They're in there right now. I'm excited to see them. And, you know, it's just a way to kind of give back, if you ask me. It's a way to give back and a way to kind of start the promo tour off right.
Ealy is known for his role on BET's Being Mary Jane and for roles in Barbershop and Soul Food.
From We Are Washington to the Emmy Award-winning 202 with Michelle Wright and Furman Patterson to a show that features local independent artists called Display with Dion Dove and the I Wish You Knew series where millennials share their unique perspectives on topics affecting them every day. There's so much happening here at DCN and we were proud to tell district residents all about it at our DCN Upfronts. Director Angie Gates kicked things off for us as show hosts preview the upcoming season of new shows. You can watch the Upfronts coming soon to DCN.
All right, time for a recap of some of this week's news items. And wow, what a celebration for DC Emancipation Day, huh?
It was a great day. It was a long day.
Yes.
A lot of free entertainment.
Yes.
I would encourage anybody who goes to Emancipation Day to make sure to stay for the fireworks because that was a really pretty incredible display. And unlike the 4th of July, it's very easy to get a great shot of them.
Get close, right?
Yes.
I hate to point to one act or one part of it that was my favorite because there is so much that we do and there are so many performers, but I have to say I was looking forward all day long to EU. All right, and next, moving on to the Anacostia River Festival. This is a celebration. It's part of the Cherry Blossom Festival, but I love this celebration because it just shows you that the Cherry Blossom Festival is about much more than just what people tend to think of about being on the mall and all of the events that surround the National Mall. This is a celebration of the city, and the Anacostia River really brings that home.
And the Anacostia River has really come back, and people are appreciating it like never before. It's good to see people getting in, visiting other parts of the city, and I was happy to see the kids learning how to pogo stick.
Right, and how about the bike parade? The bike parade was great, wasn't it?
It was nice. It was nice. A lot of fun. Coming up, the 10 public and charter school student finalists from DC Capital Stars take center stage at the Kennedy Center to compete for the top prize.
And later, DC Health is making strides in fighting disease through education and low-cost treatment. We'll show you how a new wellness center is helping to make a difference. The 2019 DC Capital Stars Talent Competition features the top 10 finalists from DC public and public charter high schools.
Celebrity judges, including Kenny Lattimore and Denise Graves, provide the students with plenty of feedback as they compete for college scholarships, while their parents hold their breath in the audience. With all the glitz and glamour of a major Broadway production, 10 of the district's most talented high school students competed as part of the 2019 DC Capital Stars competition at the Kennedy Center.
It was amazing. It felt so good to just be on stage and doing what I love in front of people whom are here to see me perform and do my best. I had an amazing time.
The 10 finalists in vocal, instrumental, and dance were chosen from hundreds of students from DC public and public charter schools to compete for scholarships, including a grand prize of $10,000.
I started piano at 5 years old. I practice normally anywhere between 1 and 3 hours a day, especially balancing school and work after school.
Celebrity judges, along with audience members, vote for the winner and provide instant feedback on performances in an American Idol-style competition.
You know, it's a very mature sound for a young woman like you, and beautiful delivery.
This year's judges included dancer and choreographer Chloe Arnold, opera singer Denise Graves, and singers Raheem Devon and Kenny Lattimore.
That's not an easy song to do either, and to begin in the lows. Your range is great.
The performances represented a wide range of talents, from classical piano to jazz singing, and identical twins who both made it as finalists in tap.
I want to point out, tap dance is definitely not dead. We are alive and thriving, and while we might be a small, tight-knit community, we're here to share with the rest of the world. I got to choose the song, I got to figure out the arrangement with musicians, and then I got to make my own choreography to it and then perform it on the Kennedy Center stage. What more could a tap dancer ask for?
Parents were on the edge of their seats throughout the show.
This is a wonderful experience. It was very nerve-wracking watching her, yes.
For the students, it was a chance to shine alongside competitors who, throughout the intense rehearsal schedule, had become friends. In the end, it was the youngest of them all who took home the top prize. Wilson Senior High School freshman Jillian Upshaw drummed her way into a first-place finish with a show-stopping performance that had the entire audience on their feet.
Until now, it still hasn't come into my head that I won $10,000 as a freshman.
Tomorrow's just a regular day at school, right?
Yeah, I still have to go to school. So.
Oh, you gonna have homework tonight?
Yeah, I have lots of homework.
Those students are so talented, and it's amazing to see how confident they are, especially since for a lot of them it's a first time doing that kind of official performance at the Kennedy Center.
I was thinking the same thing while watching this, that, you know, sometimes all the trappings of the surroundings, you know, being on that stage, being in that hall, you know, it can be kind of overwhelming if you're a performer. at any level, I think. And, to be high school age and to be competing, no less, in a talent competition, I think is a lot of pressure, and they did a great job. They really did. Coming up, DC Health is making strides in fighting the spread of STDs with low-cost care. That story is next. Each year, the annual surveillance report for the District of Columbia provides a snapshot of how DC is doing combating the spread of sexually transmitted diseases like HIV, as well as hepatitis and tuberculosis. This year, there continues to be progress decreasing the number of cases. One of the factors behind the improvements is DC health and wellness centers like the one at P Street Northeast, where residents are getting free or low-cost testing and treatment. At the core of the district's effort to prevent the spread of disease is an agency known as HOSTA.
HOSTA is HIV/AIDS, hepatitis, STD, and TB administration.
And while the agency partners with health and community-based organizations to offer screening and treatment, here in the Noma neighborhood, the DC Health and Wellness Center is having a big impact.
This new modern space, we're happy to be in it for the past 2 years. The great advantage to being here is that we're more centrally located in DC, so it's easier for patients.
Easier for patients to reach and receive vital screening, treatment, and counseling at low, or in some cases, no cost.
We like to make sure here that cost is not a barrier for patients. So it's something that you can just sort of routinely come by. We have patients who come by and get screening every 3 months if they feel like they're at increased risk, and it's just sort of a place where they're going to sort of maintain their health.
And maintaining one's health also includes mental health.
We have people that work here that can link you up for health care. We also have mental health service providers here that you would never think of. And now we have TB services. So we also have staff that can point you to other shelters, and you don't really think that going into a clinic, you'll be like, okay, well, I didn't know that you could help me find somewhere to stay for the night, or housing in general.
The state-of-the-art facilities here are having an impact on HOSTA's mission, even if the statistics don't always seem to tell the whole story.
We're finding a lot more because we're looking for a lot more. We think that these numbers, so we've seen a general uptrend in the numbers over the last several years. We think that is in part because of the amazing work done by our providers.
Along with screening, education about disease and prevention is an important part of the work DC Health is doing to combat the spread of sexually transmitted diseases.
We bring STD screening and sexual health to them in their schools. So we do STD screening in DC public high schools and some charter schools, which is really important, that young people are getting screened, and adults as well, but and more often that doctors are asking that people aren't afraid to talk about sex.
And young people in the district are embracing that conversation.
And one of the goals of the Sex Is campaign is to actually get that information out, because I know a lot of people don't even know that we have this clinic here on P Street. So I feel like the information coming out altogether is like a major help, because some people are just oblivious to the fact that you have these resources.
Important thing to underscore here is that the people from DC Health say this plateau that they referenced about the HIV cases and the decrease they had been experiencing and the plateau that they have right now, they don't see it as a bad thing. They actually see it as somewhat of a positive thing. And they attribute it to the mayor's 90-90-90-50 initiative, which is about getting DC residents to figure out their status and get treatment. And what they say is with more people finding out their status, it's actually having an effect on the numbers. So they view it as a somewhat positive development in the overall picture of things. But just in general, they're still taking a bite out of all of the stats that are out there, and they're happy with the progress.
And so important for everybody to get tested.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is all the time that we have for today, but we have time for one last thing.
Well, we enjoyed so many great performances at the Emancipation Day concert. Yes. It was a great day, but I have to say I did have a favorite performance.
What's that?
And that was the Rapper's Delight competition. Take a look.
This is the anniversary of Rapper's Delight, the 40th anniversary. Some people here think they know all the words to Rapper's Delight.
Say hip, hop, a hippie to the hippity, hip, hip, hop, and you don't stop rocking to the bang, bang, boogie. Up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
Oh, the CAS and the OVA and the rest is FLY.
You see, I go by the name of the doctor of the mix, and these reasons I'll tell you why. You see, I'm 6'1" and I'm tons of fun, and I dress to a T. You see,
Wait! Y'all make some noise for me.
Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat.
The ladies pimp, the women fight for my delight, cause I'm the grandmaster with the 3 MCs that shock the house for the young lady. We will let the people of DC judge.
Matthew Granato.
The real king of 8 Mile.
Thank you.
I love them all.
Okay. How about that? Yes, so I also have to say that joining us on stage, part of the show, Nick Dorsey, sometimes directs, always edits, sometimes is behind the camera, but very much a part of We Are Washington. And Troy Pinckney also competed. I felt like they did a pretty good job.
They were great, but you can't deny you did win. In the end, you were the winner, and I have to say I have all kinds of new respect for you. My only question is really, how do you top that next year?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I think we're going to have to put a band together or something like that. But that is all the time that we have for today. But we'd like to thank you for joining us and encourage you to check out some of our past shows, our features. We have a lot of content for you that we want you to see. Go to YouTube, search Entertain DC.
See you next time.